your boy Sonarlala here with a update episode and also the second episode in my GM mode for the Utah Jazz. As you, as you can see, we started off rough 0-2, excuse me. But then we had a nice little 3-game win streak going. You know, beat the Pacers, the Blazers, and the Nuggets. We fell to the Grizzlies. We took the Cavs and the King to overtime and we beat them by barely. We squeaked it out. And we went on to play the Heat, which that game wasn't too exciting, and the Magic, which we just dominated ridiculously. And then we faced the only other team that had a longer win streak than us, and you guys saw that on YouTube, and they beat us, or we beat them, excuse me, we beat them 105-86. And then we had 2 days off. Played the Raptors, nothing too crazy, same with the Mavericks. And then this was a highlight reel finish. Gordon Hayward, with 5.0 seconds on the clock, hit a fadeaway three-pointer from the middle of the court, just straight up behind the line, nailed it. They got the ball back with 1.9 seconds left. And I'm so lucky KD missed that shot. He normally would never miss that shot, but he did. And so we won. And our next opponents are going to be the Clippers, which I feel like out of any team that will beat us, we'll either end our streak against the Clippers or Golden State. Pelicans, that game is up in the air against New Orleans. Oops, wrong button. Now with the team, however, we've had some issues of lately. Mainly tied between our starting power forward and our backup power forward. Now, Derek Favors is very upset with the organization because against the Mavericks, I benched Derek Favors and started Trevor Booker. And because Booker was upset about his minutes, and now they're both pissed off. Excuse me, they're both upset. I have 2 upset NBA players right now because they both want to start. So, you know, you're like, you can trade him, you can keep him, what can you do? Well, Favors is young and good. Yes, a lot of his stats are taking some hits. Booker is, 4 years older, not as good, but coming off the bench, he is our 6th man. So, I mean, you really can't get rid of that. And we also traded away Rodney Hood, and we picked up David Stockton, the son of the John Stockton. Which, if you're not a Utah Jazz fan or know nothing about pro basketball, look up John Stockton. It will blow your mind. So, we picked him up. He needs a lot of improvement. But the main reason I traded for him is I need a new shooting guard who I could trust. Rodney Hood. Good guy. Good guy for my organization, But, as a player, he didn't do too spectacular. And David Stockton was actually a point guard, but at 5'11", 165, I was like, this guy, he can't lead point. He needs to be a 2-man. He needs to be a shooting guard. Plus, the difference in contract. He's only $845K, whereas Hood was, I believe, $1.5 million. So from a money standpoint, it made more sense to trade for and pick up Stockton than it was to keep Rodney Hood on the roster. We'll go down to stats real quick. As you can see, Burks and Hayward are up there, my leading scorers. Basically, if either one of these guys gets hurt or is gone, I'm SOL. The franchise is all offline because we don't have anyone that can drive the lane or shoot outside of those 2 guys. We have Turkoglu, who's great at threes, but he's a bench player. He's not much of a starter anymore, but he is good for what he is at. Favors is coming in, protecting the lane. Offensive rebounds, of course, Rudy and Favors and Hayward. Hayward's a little all over the place when it comes to season leader so far per game, per stats. Assists goes to Burks and Hayward. Burks again with steals. Blocks, Gobert. Turnovers, Burke, unfortunately. Now, I noticed you guys will see that I also picked up Mario Chalmers and Chris Anderson from the Heat. I traded away 3 players for that. And actually, I'll bring up the transactions. Oops, league news, transaction report. We got rid of Bryce Cottom, Joe Ingles, 2018 first round, and Raul Nitu for Chalmers, Richardson, and 19 first round. And then we waived Millsap. we signed Turkoglu. We traded Hood, and we got David Stockton and a 2017 second round pick. The reason I wanted Stockton is because Stockton's very defensive. Because from our guards, we were getting a lot of good offensive look, as evidenced by the points. But defensively, games like this are that close because you have someone like Mario Chalmers who can steal the ball. And that's why I got Stockton. Stockton's not a very good shooter, but he has a high stealing percentage overall, statistically. And he is a good three-point shooter. And he's young enough to where we can keep him. And plus, he's David Stockton, the son of the John Stockton. So it makes sense to have him on the team because hopefully they'll see the name, recognize it, and they'll want to come to the game and give us some money because there are rumors of the Jazz possibly moving to Kansas City after the season. My owner wanted to do it. I know I'm just the GM. I get some control. I was like, I'd like to move a team to Kansas City, but I think the Jazz are fine where they are. But as you can see, more than half the league is on my side. So that's good. The only people that are on our side are us, me, myself, and I, and undecided. Undecided votes, surprisingly, are the Bucks, the Cavs, and the Magic. You figure a lot of the other, but at the same time, when it comes to traveling and expensive, I'm sure the other teams in our division weren't too happy about that. And speaking of division, we are currently sitting atop just above OKC, just barely above them. Technically, statistically speaking, we have the same record because they've played 2 more games than us, and we both have 10 wins. So, but head to head, we win the tiebreaker because we're up 1-0 in the series. But that is all for this update video. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and share, and join in and tune in because for the next game, next video will be us versus the Clippers.